Hey everybody, and welcome to today's video. So I'm really sorry that I could not do a live. Having some internet problems right now, but I wanted to get this video out so I can get it uploaded and out to you guys. I have a ton of stuff to talk about. So I'm sure everybody knows by now, AWP put out a clip to their videos that are coming out about Kiely, and they said some very interesting things in there. But we're going to go back to the beginning, okay? Not the beginning, but let's go back and talk about how in the very beginning, we all assumed that her friends were involved. Sammy was suspicious, Mags was suspicious, and I was suspicious of Jagger in the beginning. Now, her friends, we have not heard from Sammy anything since AWP showed up and found Kiely's car. Okay? We have not heard from Mags at all since she was at the search party thing for Kiely, right? Since the news interviewed her. Kate, literally, we heard from her once on the news, and then another time when she put out those text messages saying Sammy and Kiely were not friends. Excuse me. Those are the only things we've heard from those guys. Where did everybody go? Why did everybody just stop talking? You know why? Because everybody is guilty. They all know what happened. They all know how it happened, and they're all responsible. And we all know this already, right? All right, now, Jagger. There's some things about this character, right? Now, when we all heard, did everybody hear the tow truck driver talking to AWP? Did everybody see that? Okay, well, I'm sure, and I'm not the only one, I'm sure that everybody's head automatically went, bam, Jagger, right? When he was talking about the girl and the guy in the car. He had a SF hat on. We know Jagger has that SF hat. We know that Jagger has long hair that sticks out of the side of his hat. So those are reasonable inquiries into this, I would say, in my opinion. Okay. Now, the tow truck driver said that he could 100%, he was confident who the guy was. He was not confident on who the girl was. Just a blonde. This was Saturday morning at 11 in the morning that they were seen. So it was the day after the supposed party took place, which I've said numerous times. In my opinion, do not believe there ever was a party. I believe that Kiely was set up by the people that wanted to claim to be her friends, and I believe they did something to her, hurt her, took her, and who knows what. But I believe 100% in my heart that they are guilty and they are behind this and they know everything. Now, we'll know a lot more when the video comes out from the from the towing company, because he had it all on camera. And he said it was really weird, too, because the girl kept asking weird questions like, how do you buckle the seatbelt to make sure it's securely buckled? And just weird questions like that, he said. Like, how bizarre is that? Would you not think something was up if you're that guy and somebody was like, how do you securely buckle a seatbelt? What kind of question is that? That's a weird question. And he said that whoever the guy and the girl were that were in the car, every time one was talking to him, the other one was over on the other side of the vehicle. It was almost like they didn't want to be near each other, almost like they didn't want to be seen together. You know what I mean? Like they are together at the car. But it's weird how they would, every time one would walk around, the other would walk around the other way. That is super, super, you know, wild to me. Like, that is something you would notice that would stand out. Like, you'd be like, what is with these people? Right? So that's super weird. And by the way, let's not forget that Jagger made sure to mention that, I don't know. I'll let you know. Sorry. Um, let's not forget that Jagger had to mention before that Kiely had perfume in her car. Oh, she has perfume in her car. Like, why would he just mention that randomly out of nowhere? Isn't that weird? Like, that's a weird thing to say. You know, somebody's missing. You're looking for her in her vehicle. Oh, she had perfume in her car. Like, that's totally dumb. Unless there's a reason behind it. Right? Um, Now, the only reason that Jagger, people didn't want to suspect Jagger was because he claimed that he was in Napa with his father and his father backed up his story. Um, Not for nothing, but a father would lie to protect his son, in my opinion. Okay? And it's not that far of a drive from there to Napa. So I mean, he could have went there and easily drove back, and had something to do with this. Come on, allegedly. And let's think about this too. Remember when Sammy made it a point to go, oh, and by the way, sunroof. Kylie's car has a sunroof. Kylie's car did not have a sunroof. Do you know whose car does have a sunroof? Jagger's. I'm just saying. Okay. Now, the reason that AWP went to Boca and searched Boca before was because that was the last known location of the car, which is where the tow truck driver went. That's how AWP knew to go there first. Right? So, I mean, hey, everybody's got a theory, and right now it's all speculation. But Jared from AWP said, generally, generally, like when you're getting groceries or something, you say they're in the back, right? Or, or you say they're in the back seat. Like if they're in the back seat, you say they're in the back seat. If they're in the back, you say they're in the back. Because that, like the back. Now that's what he said. He said, when I say the back, I mean the back, right? So we know she wasn't in the back seat of the car. We know that she was in the back of the car, which I figured already. That I figured that. Now let's talk about this mother and this message she put out there about AWP and how they're not her heroes, and she was not notified by them, and they're not going to get, basically she said, I will not put pen to paper, like basically they're not going to get any of the money or whatever. And I don't understand why she's acting like this, because they found her daughter. Had it not been for them, Kiely would have never been found. So I don't get and I don't understand why she is acting this way. It makes zero sense to me. A lot of people are saying that's not a real account, but that video I made the other day, I got all those pictures from the Lost Trail Lodge's Facebook page. And if you go all the way down, literally there's not one message on there until, back from like 2012 or some craziness like that, I want to say it is. But that was the same exact profile that put out the statement that was saying, AWP is nobody's heroes and she's sick of hearing people say that. But literally, lady, they found your kid. They found your daughter when the Placer County sheriffs were just going to leave that area and say forget it. Your daughter would have never been found. So I don't know what her problem is. So we need to, that's not normal. What else can I mention here? Oh, and also in a clip that came out of the AWP video, you'll notice that he says, this doesn't make any sense. It's only 10 feet down. Because, listen, we all said the same thing. This doesn't make any sense. How did they not find the car there? It doesn't make any sense, right? Well, basically, we got confirmation that he also thinks didn't make any sense to him. Okay? Now, he said about the car being in gear, what he said was, we did not look. We did not physically look to see what gear the car was in, but we know it was in neutral. Like I said, and a lot of people were like, yeah, I agree. Some people were like, oh, that's dumb. That doesn't, that's stupid. Can't say that. But it's not, I don't know. You just got to think about how, you got to think about the story that this is going along with. And it's so insane that I don't know how anybody could rule anything out. It's just ridiculous. And everybody that wanted to, come and say something to me about, you shouldn't be making these videos. The family needs the right to grieve. Like, this was a horrible accident. And like I've been saying from day one, in my opinion, this was not an accident. This was a planned, premeditated, set up thing that happened to this girl. And I don't care, who agrees with me and who doesn't. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. And all opinions are welcome. But I'm just telling you mine. Now, when the tow truck driver got there, he said the girl in the car said her phone was dead. And she used the guy's phone to call roadside assistance. So, if it is who we think it is, that call will be in his phone even after he deleted it. They can get that. So, hopefully, they're looking into this guy and these people, Sammy, Mags, not to call any names, but hopefully these people are being looked into, Jagger, and they will be investigated, and the people held responsible the people found to be responsible will be held responsible. Like, that's what we're hoping for. So, Kate's response to the AWP video that came out, she said, and I quote, all a load of BS, unquote. Now, Jagger's response, Jagger was asked, what did you think about the AWP video? His exact words were, this is all BS. He said bullshit, but they both had the same exact answer to the question. That's kind of sketchy, right? If you were really friends and you found this out and you were not involved, that would not be your response. You would not just be like, that's bullshit. You'd be like, oh my God, now we're getting somewhere. Like, let's find out what happened to Kiely. But no. You know who does do that? People who are guilty. Or people that know, right? I'm not saying, but I'm saying. This is just my opinion. Now, the mom also said something else strange in her thing. She said, this was meant to be our story, not theirs. Aren't those weird choice? Isn't that a weird choice of words to use? This was meant to be our story, not theirs. Now, if you were saying, okay, say this happened to you and some newscaster or something was trying to take over and tell your story. Now you would be like, this is supposed to be our story, not theirs to tell. But that's not what she said. She said this was meant to be. What do you guys think of that? because that strikes me as a little odd. Not this was supposed to be, but this was meant to be our story. What do you guys take on that? I find that super sketchy and super strange. I'm sorry, I just do. Now, the facts are that Kylie was last seen at 6:08 p.m. on the night of the 5th. 6:08 p.m. That is the last official sighting of Kylie that we have. We have no idea from then until her body was found in the car what happened to her, how long she had been gone for. We don't know any of that. But so everything you hear else besides what's coming from, AWP, and hopefully if they're on the up and up, the medical examiner, but I'm not holding my breath on that. So we don't know what happened to her, how long she was held for, if she was held, if it was just, we don't know any of that. And that's, I think, such a hard thing in this case. All right. The tow truck driver also said that the girl looked very distressed. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say it. It was definitely, in my opinion, one of those three friends in that story. Friends in quotation marks. Hell, let's just call it like it is. It was one of those three liars was the girl in that car. And you all know who I think the guy in the car was. I don't know what you think, but I cannot wait to see the full video. Like I said, I mean, this is just ridiculous. And a lot of people, Upchurch, I don't know what that guy was like, oh, this is fake. She's not real. This didn't happen. And now he's all back on the people's panels. And it's just ridiculous. Like I said in my last video, just because you couldn't find the answers doesn't mean it didn't happen. And now that AWP is coming out with this, he has nothing to say for himself. And everybody who just blindly followed him and agreed with him, it's totally crazy. And I think this validates us a little bit with the people, who were, people were like, oh, why would you just assume it was such a bad thing? Like, dude, she got into a car, she drunk, she drove into a lake, end of story. Like, no. And I knew in my gut that was not the case. So, here we are. Now we know that is not the case. These divers that went down there and saw what they saw are highly affected from this. They were, and I don't, for the life of me, understand anybody else's behavior in this case. Like, everybody is just lying and hiding things and just, it's sad. It's sad. And the mom was like, oh, they didn't tell me, I was out eating sushi when I found out at a restaurant. What the hell were you doing out eating sushi when your daughter's missing? Why are you out at a restaurant eating dinner? Like, did anybody care about this girl? Seriously? My whole point in doing all of these videos that I have done about Kylie has been just to help bring justice to Kylie, just to help stand up for Kylie, because she is no longer able to stand up for herself. And I know in my gut that it is not an accident, that there is foul play, and that certain people are involved. In my opinion, allegedly. So, listen, I want to get this up, get this out. It's going to take forever to upload this because my internet is so crappy right now. It's like I can't even barely watch anything. So please, guys, hit that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. Please subscribe. It is free. It doesn't cost you anything. And please hit that bell so you can get notified of any future videos that we put out. What else? Oh, please listen. I've been working on this, spending so much time on this case, and I don't get any money from YouTube. I'm not big enough. Speaking of that, please, again, subscribe. We're so close to 1,000 subscribers. Help get us over that hurdle. You guys have been awesome. But if you guys want to help donate to the channel, there will be a link down below to our PayPal. And again, I mean, I want to thank everybody who supported these videos and who, wants to help do the same thing. We're all just here trying to get justice for Kiely. So until next time, stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll see you next time.